back to Cincinnati, everybody, and welcome inside a sold-out Shoemaker Center. Judgment Week presented by AT&T Long Distance is wrapping up tonight. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Marquette, and Cincinnati. What's at stake here tonight?
Well, you think about #1 seeds, for example, for Cincinnati. You think about Marquette, they want to get up to being a #2 seed, so they both better get a W somehow here. Think about Conference USA. Cincinnati's dominated this conference since its inception. Have won every year. Might have Player of the Year ramifications as well.
Yeah, maybe the two top players in the conference here tonight, Steve Logan and Dwayne Wade. And for more on them, let's go to the third member of our team tonight, Michelle Tafoya. Michelle?
Well, Dan, Steve Logan is the defending Conference USA Player of the Year, and he's a significantly better player this season. Now, Marquette head coach Tom Green says what makes him so tough is his ability to single-handedly take over and win basketball games. And because of that, Green says Marquette's team defense must be tonight, in a word, incredible. Now, challenging him for Player of the Year honors is Marquette's Dwayne Wade. And Wade is leading his team in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals. People are saying that he's the best thing to put on a Golden Eagles uniform since Doc Rivers, Dan.
That's pretty high praise. Not bad for a guy who didn't play last year. Sat out as a partial qualifier. Marquette in blue, Cincinnati in white, and the roof's going to blow off this place.
Well, the last time Cincinnati lost at home, it was on February 18th, 2001, right here to the Golden Eagles.
Yep. They're going to do it all over again.
And they've beaten 3 consecutive games. Marquette has really been dominant, has done a phenomenal job defensively against Cincinnati.
They're the only school since the inception of Conference USA, now in its 7th year, to beat Cincinnati 3 times in a row. And Bob Huggins here at Cincinnati has never lost to anybody in conference or out 4 times in a row. Another milestone the Golden Eagles could reach tonight. Dwayne Wade with a 15-footer no, and Donald Little with the first rebound.
Well, Little gives them solid defense on the inside. Wade had 25 in that first matchup. He and his buddy Cordell Henry dominated the perimeter, scoring 45 between them.
The guy to keep an eye on for Cincinnati, number 22, Steve Logan. 2 40-point games this year as Emmanuel McElroy travels. First turnover committed by the Bearcats, and we'll set the starting lineups for you. I know you love that Marquette backcourt, not just Wade, but Cordell Henry as well.
Cordell Henry's been on fire. He's been averaging 22 points a game in his last 3 games and has been sensational, shooting 95% on a free throw line in his last 4 as well.
A 4-year starter at the point for Marquette. A look inside O'Darte Blankson, and Little just took it right off the glass.
That's what Little does really well on the inside. He protects the goal.
Third in the conference in blocks. Bearcats crash at the other end, but Marquette comes out of there.
2 unheralded players are Blankson and Namaka for Marquette. Just solid role players, Dan.
Those are their 2 forwards. There's Blankson. He finds Namaka, misses the 3. Bob Huggins wanted to travel before. Underneath, another block. I think it was Little again. Jamal Davis at the other end from Logan, and the Bearcats are on the board.
What a great look by Logan. Bobby Huggins, calm, cool, and collective. Forget those rumors about West Virginia. That will not happen. His alma mater looking for a coach. There's no way he's leaving Cincinnati. Take that to the bank.
Got a pretty good situation here. 4th in the country. 6 consecutive regular season titles in Conference USA, and Jim Burr has a call against Marquette.
Going to watch the block. Gets a great angle. Tremendous block. And now look at a great look. The diagonal pass by Logan to catch and the jam by Davis. Former transfer from out of Purdue.
That's right. One of the nice things about Logan, even though he's scoring like crazy, he's not playing selfish basketball at all. In his last 3 games, he's averaging better than 7 assists per.
But he had 9 assists and no turnovers in that 41-point explosion he had against Southern Mississippi.
Look at him use the glass. He is as fundamentally sound and as tough a ball player as there is in America.
He's the player of the year in this conference. There's no doubt about it. The best impact newcomer is Wade.
And here is Wade at the other end trying to answer. Dick talked about his big game. 25 in the win over Cincinnati up in Milwaukee, but he's 0 for 2 to start tonight.
We're going to take a look at Logan trying to post up against Little Henry. The head fake from out of St. Edwards in Cleveland, where they won the state championship. Hooked up with Sam Clancy, who's been sensational for Southern Cal. 11 consecutive double-doubles.
Watched Logan in that Southern Mississippi game a couple of weeks ago when he outscored them 41-37 in a 52-point win for the Bearcats.
Well, Henry's matched up right in his face.
Davis for three. 7-0 Cats.
That's big. Davis was very quiet over the Bradley Center when they had over 18,000 when they broke Cincinnati's 20-game win streak. When that game 74-60. Tom Crean, you talk about a rising star in the coaching fraternity.
Just his third year, only 35 years of age. Donald Little's got his third block of the night.
He is dominating in 3 secondaries like the human eraser. He says, "Thou shalt not enter thy lane." That's the first commandment on the defensive end. And look at all these walkies. I mean, the Bearcat fans are going bananas. As Mr. Little, he says, "Thou shalt not enter the lane." Here it is, Rejection City.
Uses the left hand, keeps it in play. Boy, and he's a funny guy, Dick. Some games you don't notice him much at all. In other games, he can be one of the best players on the floor.
And they got terrific wing players defensively in McElroy and certainly in Stokes. As you take a look at the block leaders, Kenyon Martin, you talk about special. He was so dominant. Unfortunately, had that injury when he became a number 2 seed. They changed the defenses, Tom Crean, going to the zone.
Cincinnati hoping for a number 1 seed this year. Logan misses badly. Little had it and lost it. And let's see if the Golden Eagles can put some points on the board.
Henry's got to get some looks.
Well, he's saying he was hit on the elbow there. He is upset. Now he's got to put up with the air ball chant as well. Logan, heavy traffic, and the follow is there for Stokes.
I'll tell you one thing, this Cincinnati team is fired up. They are attacking the glass. That's a good timeout, baby. They are aggressive. They have come out here with purpose. They are focused.
They know they've lost 3 times in a row to this Marquette team, and they've been working a lot on rebounding drills the last few days, and it's showing already.
Well, that is certainly Bobby Huggins' greatest asset, teaching people to be focused. It's about people, and that's what the late Al McGuire told Tom Crean when they used to have conversations. He said, "Youngster, it's not about all the X's and O's. It's about people." And it didn't come any better than Al McGuire. You talk about a genuine, warm, kind, no ego, just as real as they can be. I miss him dearly, and I know he'd be mighty proud of Tom Crean. He told me on the phone, Dan, I'll never forget, during his illness, he said to me, "Dixie," he used to call me Dixie. He said, "Dixie, we got a special in there, and this young kid, Crean."
Guy who worked under Ralph Willard and Tom Izzo, and he brings some of that typical Izzo Michigan State kind of toughness to this Marquette program, and they're going to need to have some the way this game has started.
They got to make some shots.
Diener into the game, he misses. What a rebound by Wade, but he misses, and Marquette's now 0 for 8 from the floor.
Not the way you want to start on the road. Certainly gets this crowd alive here.
Crowd looking for a foul, but no contact, and it's out of bounds to Marquette. Bob Huggins has had so much success at Cincinnati. This is the only program in America to win at least 25 games the last 7 years, trying to get them back to that number 1 seed status and maybe back to the Final Four where they went 10 years ago.
And that's consistency. That was in '92 when they had Van Exel and company.
John Harris into the game for Marquette, and finally they're on the board.
Harris is a kid that brings him some toughness. Good low post move right there. A good post position inside. And we are now playing a little matchup zone defense.
And Little throws it over the head of McElroy. So it's been all Cincinnati so far, although Bob Huggins doesn't look like a happy man.
It's been a SWAT party, baby. It's been a SWAT party here in the Queen City, and it's been all Cincinnati.
Maybe the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball, Oscar Robertson, part of the great tradition here at Cincinnati. There he is, and Steve Logan just moved into a tie for second on the Cincy assist list with the Big O.
I'll tell you, the Big O, you talk about a guy that can do it all. We talk about versatility. One time he came up to me, he said to me, "Dickie, I hear you talk about all these players, PTPers, etc., using all those adjectives. How would you describe me?" I said, "Big O, there aren't enough adjectives to describe how good you are." I mean, are you kidding me? He averaged a triple-double, and he's a beautiful role model for kids.
Isn't that amazing? Averaging a triple-double one year. Harris for the miss. McElroy leaking out for the Cats. Follow try is no good.
That's automatic. If he squares his body and gets a look like that, just put it in the ball. That's nothing but nylon, Mr. Logan.
Logan with an early 5 points. Cincinnati up by 10.
Can't give him any looks like that, man.
That's what Tom Crean said. If he has an open look, he will knock it down. And he proved that already here tonight. Henry, no.
I'll tell you one thing, Marquette's not getting any open looks. This club defensively is really attacking. I think they play the best defense in America, Cincinnati. I really believe that.
Well, they have the best opponent's field goal percentage in America. Diener again with a three, no. And another rebound. This time Wade has it, but he misses, and Marquette cannot buy one right now.
I had them against Xavier in that cross-down shootout, and they put a show on defensively as well.
Always been a trademark of Bob Huggins' coach teams. Maxiel.
Jason Maxiel is a diaper dandy that has stardom all over. He was 9 for 9 in his last game. He will be the coming of the next superstar at Cincinnati.
I don't think there's any question. What a sub he gives Bob Huggins off the bench, and it's a rout in favor of the Bearcats right now.
They were so fired up. I went to see Bobby Huggins before the game in his locker room. You could see the focus. There's Maxiel with the great leaping ability. That'll help you go 9 for 9.
Out of Carrollton, Texas, 6'7", 235. And like all the Cincinnati kids, they don't recruit any skinny guys. You got to have muscles if you want to play here.
He's got a great recruiting class coming in next year. Also got a JUCO player, Tony Bobbitt, coming in from Southern Idaho, who originally committed to Florida State. He was a high school sensation, didn't make the grades, and went to JUCO.
Henry, and we get a foul, says Jimmy Bird. Crowd thought it was a travel. We are here at the Shoe in Cincinnati. It is sold out. It is loud. It is Judgment Week, presented by AT&T Long Distance. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, and Michelle Tafoya with you here tonight. And these are the only two teams unbeaten at home. Cincinnati trying to keep that streak alive. There's a two-pointer for Diener, and as Dick mentioned, the last time Cincinnati was beaten at home was last year, and it was Marquette. Maxiel runs down the loose ball.
Cincinnati getting better looks than I expected because Marquette's an outstanding defensive team. Good ball movement, good looks at the goal.
Stokes, no, and a good rebound by Diener. He can give him a lift from the perimeter.
He's got some family members that play. Two cousins, one at DePaul where it's Struggle City.
Yeah.
Wow. That is really becoming something to follow down there. And also he's got a cousin playing at St. Louis.
In St. Louis, Louisville, next tonight here. Long jumper rattles out. That was Terry Sanders launching the miss, and back comes Logan.
Sanders has been very productive for them off the bench. Nice head fake.
McElroy underneath.
That's great basketball. That's unselfish basketball. That's high percentage basketball. That's shot selection. And that's winning basketball.
7 points already for Jamal Davis.
He was 0 for 3 in the first matchup against Marquette. They are playing Henry tough.
Yes, they are. Harris baseline, and we get a foul on the floor. That's the play they worked on, that high pick and roll that Marquette loves to run. And the big guys for Cincinnati are just cutting Henry off, not letting him go anywhere.
They are really working as a unit defensively. It's not just one guy playing the ball tough. It's giving help. It's closing off driving angles. They are Rich Andy Kennedy, the assistant coach, played for Jimmy Valvano at North Carolina State. Look at Bob Huggins.
Look at him working him over.
Well, he's inviting them for a dinner after the game tonight. It's an early game.
Field Williams into the game now for Cincinnati. Long-range shooter out of Houston.
Larry Weir and Steve Olson joining Jim Burr. Jim Burr certainly one of the heavyweights in officiating, one of the giants.
Back into the hands of Henry, and he's still hearing that air ball chant from that earlier miss.
Logan really doing a job defensively. We know about his offensive ability, but he's got the task to check. Look, Henry wanted a foul there. He said, he's up in my face.
Again, Maxiel jumps out, this time on Diener. Shot clock down to 5.
Look at the help they give defensively.
Diener, no, and a rebound for Little.
That's picture-perfect defense. That was a clinic to make them take a hurried-up jumper.
Logan, another beautiful feed and a foul. Again, unselfish basketball by the Bearcats.
Well, it becomes contagious, and that's how you win. You watch Kansas play. You look at Maryland, certainly in Duke. Look at this right here. There's Logan now going to get in the lane. He's going to give the little underhand feed. I tell you, that's how you win Look at the defense right now. I mean, that's defense. He chased him out of Cincinnati. I mean, he only shot that from Lexington. What is happening in Lexington? It's a soap opera down in Kentucky.
Yeah, they got more suspensions,
yeah,
right?
Today, Fitch and Daniels. We're going to call it as the world of the Cats, as they keep spinning around.
As Tubby turns.
Well, you know what's really sad? Tubby's a great coach. He's a disciplinarian.
Yep.
They play there, those kids, for one of the great programs in America. There's an unbelievable passion. There isn't a fan base in America that loves their team as much as they do in Kentucky. And some of those kids have to grow up and stop being immature and grow up and respect that jersey they're wearing, because that Kentucky jersey stands for greatness.
Well, you see what Tubby did, what Steve Alford did a little while ago. In the long run, it's going to help. The kids learn a tough lesson, but in the long term, it's going to help those programs.
Immaturity. Here's that defense now. Pressure on the basketball, right up in your face. Denial on the wings.
Logan on the bench right now. Teron Barker in the game. Henry with another miss. And Marquette, better than 8 minutes into this game, has scored 4 points. At the other end, easy looks all night long for the Cats. Even here in Cincinnati, you can't escape it. They're getting on Dickie V here.
Oh, yeah, I like that uniform. That wouldn't give me a scholarship, though. I was too dumb.
18-4 Cincinnati early. We've talked about Steve Logan, and we've seen the outstanding basketball player he is already tonight. How about a little off-the-court development, some news with Steve Logan? Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Oh, well, Dan, Steve Logan's grandmother passed away last April 20th, and he was so impacted by her death that he wrote some phrases on a piece of paper that hangs in his locker. It reads, "My life, take care of business, extra work pays off, do whatever it takes, whatever it is, stay focused, one chance only." Those are the words of inspiration that Logan wrote, and he looks to them whenever he needs inspiring, Dan.
Well, and you talk about a player who's inspiring to watch. Steve Logan certainly is that.
He's a beautiful kid. Spoke to him before the game. His mom is watching. Melody Adamson right now watching at home in the Cleveland area, and I know she's mighty proud of her son, who was Player of the Year last year in this conference.
And certainly is the front runner to be Player of the Year again in Conference USA, and they're pushing him here for National Player of the Year. How do you feel about that?
Well, he's certainly a lock for Player of the Year in the conference. Look at the unselfish basketball. McElroy with another great look inside. They are playing dominating basketball.
That's why they're shooting 57% right now. And Marquette is 2 for 17.
I think National Player of the Year, it's a 1-2 race. It's Jason Williams, and then right after him, Drew Gooden.
He's stepping out on Henry again. They're just not letting him create at all.
They are really challenging the perimeter game. Wade and Henry have nothing but tough shots.
Wade took a bump, a little bit slow getting up. Offensive rebound and a putback for Scott Merritt of Marquette.
Merritt gives him a little post presence on the inside. They got to get him a little bit more active.
The Golden Eagles won at Milwaukee, beat Cincinnati. Both of these teams are 12-1 in the conference. Marquette's only loss to Charlotte.
Marquette broke a 20-game win streak.
Now Wade with a steal. He leads the conference in that department, and the big slam at the other end.
He's a high-riser superstar. He never, I tell you, from the moment he came to college, he was an instant hit. When they beat Tennessee, they beat certainly Indiana, a good Indiana team, and Gonzaga for the Great Alaska Shootout Championship.
And he was the MVP of that tournament way back in November. That's a good field they won.
It was an outstanding field.
Three is way short. Rebound underneath for Merritt. Out of bounds to Marquette.
You're going to watch Wade right now play the passing lanes. He's so quick, so explosive. You talk to any of the coaches, Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Seth Greenberg, they all rave about this young guy. He has been a dynamite impact player, just like Ebby Arad down there in Oklahoma. Certainly Jarvis Hayes is a transfer down in Georgia. Little's been really outstanding this game. 4 rebounds and 3 blocks already.
And before the shot, we've got a foul going against Cincinnati. Following us tonight, there's more Conference USA action coming your way here on ESPN. Reese, Gaines, and Louisville taking on St. Louis. Judgment of Week presented by AT&T. Long Distance concludes with another Conference USA game. Both teams right now tied for 4th in the American Division at 6 and 7. And here comes Wade, and here come the Golden Eagles.
You don't win as often as they've won, Marquette, and back away. They're going to just keep scrapping and clawing, trying to get back in this game and withstand that unbelievable spurt early in this game by Cincinnati.
They are ranked 9th in the country. Cincinnati was unranked at the beginning of the year, and now they're ranked 4th, and now Marquette's got it back again.
And Marquette doing it defensively. I'll tell you what's happening down there. Cordell Henry really was playing Logan really tough. Couldn't get the ball in the hands of their orchestra leader. So take a look here. Marquette in the top 25. Take a look at his ranking, just going up and up and up.
Same as Cincinnati. Neither one of these teams ranked at the beginning of the season.
That's their best ranking, Marquette, since back in the late 70s.
Yep. Right now on a 12-game winning streak, their longest in 76, and Little got another one, his 4th block of the night.
You can see he gets great satisfaction. You can see the passion he has for blocking shots. He's come out here to dominate. There he is. He's making like Kenyon Martin. He's making like Kenyon Martin. Look at that rejection. Yes, sir. Thou shalt not enter thy lane.
Career high 6. He's got 4 already here tonight, but it is Marquette on a 6-0 run right now.
They got to get some looks for Henry. He's been averaging 22 a game the last 3 games.
There's a sweet look underneath. Diener finds Merritt. It's an 8-0 run for Marquette.
Well, they're back right in the game. They only have 3 losses, so it doesn't shock you. Losing at Charlotte, losing at Wisconsin, where Bo Ryan's done a phenomenal job.
Also, Wake Forest, their other one.
Yeah, lost to Wake Forest. Cincinnati beat Wake, but Wake played without their star, Josh Howard, in that game.
Cincinnati lost their opener at Oklahoma State. Logan, no. Then they won 20 in a row before the Marquette loss. Diener with a swipe comes up with it cleanly, but it's still Cincinnati ball.
Diener giving him a little hustle on a perimeter. Rotating down inside. Unheralded. These clubs are so good and are unheralded at the wings. When you talk McElroy and Stokes, they may not score a lot of points, but they defend well. As you look at Tom Crean, get to know that name. It's going to be a special name in the coaching fraternity.
Already they're worried in Milwaukee. Is this a stepping stone to another job, or is Crean going to make Marquette his life's work?
Well, I think he's going to sign a long-term extension. I think Bill Cords is going to lock him up there at Marquette.
Another turnover and a timeout taken by Marquette. On the floor is Aluma Namaka with a loose ball as the Golden Eagles retain possession.
Namaka and Blankson got to start giving him some point production. You know, you mentioned about keeping them. Marquette is a big-time job. They have an 18,000 facility. They broke a record for the most fans ever in the history of the state of Wisconsin when they played Louisville recently.
And, of course, they've got the great tradition you talked about with Al McGuire winning the national championship back in '77. Tomorrow, it's an ACC matchup over on ESPN2. Tony Akins and Georgia Tech taking on the Cavs down in Charlottesville, led by Chris Williams, Roger Mason Jr., Travis Watson. But look at Virginia. They're still ranked 15th, but they're under 500 in the conference. They're sliding right now. Dick, are they in jeopardy of missing the tournament? You know, earlier this year, Doug Dowdy, fine writer down there in Virginia, told me, he said they were really hot, and everybody was talking about they were like number 4 in the nation. And he said, you know what? In a matter of like a week, they went from like being top 4 in the nation to being on the bubble. I mean, you talk about things swinging. Wow, they got to get some wins. From the corner, 3 goes down for Henry, and Marquette is right back in this game. I tell you, they play with a lot of confidence, these kids. I love Henry and Wade, both out of Chicago to Windy City. Henry played at the same high school with Quentin Richardson. He's now one of the premier 6 men in the NBA. Stokes swings it to the open man. Williams in the corner, misses the 3. Diener was on the floor when the shot was taken, but got up and got the rebound. And Williams can shoot that 3, and he did a great job reversing the ball to him. Use the screen. He's got to use the screen. They did a great job stepping out. Yeah, big guys have been stepping out all night long. That time it was Little. Max Seal's been doing it as well. But Henry did get loose last time down the floor for a 3, and Marquette is back within 5. Cincinnati, 5-point lead for the Bearcats. You got Bob Huggins, the established king of coaches in this league. Tom Crean, you talked about him as an up-and-comer, but that's just scratching the surface of coaches in this conference. Well, you're talking about heavyweight coaches. How's the name? Rick Pitino coming up next, and also John Calipari, and some other good coaches don't get a lot of publicity. Bobby Lutz does a great job. Seth Greenberg trying to win 20 games down in South Florida, and the job being done at Houston by Ray McCallum. This league really is elevating itself, and here's a look at Tom Crean. I love him. He was on that staff at Michigan State that
that in '99 went to the Final Four, the year that Connecticut cut the nets down and won the national title, beating Duke in that year. And after that, that's when they hired Marquette. Bill Court said he looked at him, talked to him for about an hour. I read an article and he said, I knew he was the guy I wanted.
These are the two heavyweights in this conference, each at 12-1. The winner tonight gets a stranglehold on top spot in the conference, the inside track to the regular season title, top seed in the postseason tournament. And in Cincinnati's case, maybe a #1 seed. Wade with another steal, and he finishes strong at the other end.
And that's what he does so well. He's so athletic. When we talk about athleticism, we're talking about quickness, lateral quickness. We're talking about foot speed, elevation, and he possesses those qualities. Does a great job anticipating defensively. He's a big-time player. There's no question.
It's a 13-2 run, Dick, for the Golden Eagles. So who do you turn to? Logan, but a miss. Little with a rebound inside, and he's been huge tonight.
It's the best I've seen Mr. play. Mr. Little is not little tonight.
No, sir. Already 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks for Donald Little.
But I'll tell you one thing, Tom Crean and his kids and his staff have to be really happy that they battled back. Didn't look like they were going to get blown out.
Yep.
They were 2 for 17.
Henry finds Namaka, a little bit strong. Diener kicks it out. Boy, Diener's giving him some good minutes.
A wide open, used the screen well.
Cordell Henry knocks it down.
He really utilized the screen. He saw the screen coming up. He is so underrated. He's a stabilizer. Take a look right here. Watch him use this. There's the steal by Wade. Explosion, sliding and gliding to the goal.
Steve Olson just got John Harris from Marquette and Donald Little from Cincinnati together and said, all right, guys, cool it a little bit. Too much rough stuff. But you're talking about two teams, Dick, who really reflect the personalities of their coaches. These are coaches who bring in football players to make the rebounding drills tougher. These are tough basketball teams.
Well, you certainly, Tom Crean, working with Tom Izzo, that's part of his persona.
And everybody knows Bob Huggins has become legendary for the toughness of a lot of his kids.
Really? Bobby Huggins? Huggy-Bear?
He's no Huggy Bear.
He made my All-Valentine's team. He was the coach of the All-Valentine's team.
There.
Look at that
Huggy guy there.
Oh, look how nice he is. Look how sweet. Are you kidding me? I want to go to dinner with him. He's such a sweet guy. Look at him. And his player says, I love him.
Let's go to Michelle.
Marquette in practice, Dan, has been working their starting 5 against 7 players. They did that before last meeting with Cincinnati, and it seemed to work. But you talk about toughness, that's one way Tom Crean is trying to make his team even tougher.
Not a bad idea when you go up against Cincinnati. How about Donald Little? Oh, offensive foul as he crushed John Harris with that left shoulder.
They're doing some little gimmicks there defensively in their zone. They're chasing people. They're communicating on cuts. They're really confusing Cincinnati now with that zone defense.
Number 2 on Little, and he's got to come out of the game.
Take a look right here, and he's been, there he is making contact. He has really played well. This is the best I've seen him play in the games that I've watched of Cincinnati.
But he sits down with 2. Jamal Davis, who had 7 early points, back into the game for the Bearcats.
They should be able to attack the basket a little better.
Wade for 3, and Dwayne Wade single-handedly bringing Marquette back into this game. He's now got 9.
And he is really pumped up. Dwayne drains it, baby.
Logan, contested jumper, doesn't matter.
He was incredible in that game when he scored 41 against Southern Miss. It was a blowout and a great performance. The best, I think, this year was Casey Jacobson getting 41 in a game they win in overtime over Oregon. That's incredible when you get 41 and you win in overtime.
Logan also had 40 against Mississippi State. He's averaging better than 22 points per game. Henry uses the screen again. Wade.
He's the elevator man. You see how high he was? What a high riser.
11 for Dwayne Wade, only 6'4". Logan, and he'll shoot a couple. Well, it was all Cincinnati at the beginning, Dick. It's been all Wade since.
It's the Wade show. He's got a little smile on. He knows that we're going to him right now. He says, look, I got range as a shooter. I'll show you. I can shoot the trifecta. Now I'm going to show you my elevation. Look at him. Are you kidding me? Are you serious how high he was right there? I cannot believe that, Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Michelle talked about it at the beginning. He leads the team in scoring, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. You can't do much more than that.
Yeah, and Dan, he says, and I'm quoting Dwayne, he says, great players don't become known for one thing. They're known for scoring, rebounding, passing, winning, and the ways they make their teammates better. I'm not saying I'm a great player, he says, but that's what I want to become, Dan.
But you know what, Michelle? He's saying, I'm a great player. Because he does it all.
And if he won't, you will.
I will. His play makes it happen.
Merritt double teamed in the post.
They're really attacking him down in that post.
And a timeout is taken.
I tell you, Marquette has really stunned me here, the way they have come back in this game, because it looked early in this game that it was an M&M'er, a mismatch. That's how really prepared and how really tough Cincinnati was early.
It was 18-4 early for Cincinnati. It's a 2-point game now. Tomorrow on ESPN, it's a Big Ten, Big 12 doubleheader beginning at 7 Eastern time. First in the Big Ten, Michigan against Iowa, and then at 9 o'clock, Texas against number 5, Oklahoma. Hollis Price, Ebby-Ara, and look at the logjam in the Big 12. And it may come down to, Dick, Oklahoma or Cincinnati for a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
That's why this game is so big to Cincinnati. If they want to be able to keep Oklahoma away from that number 1 seed, they got to win, especially on their home floor. They can't have 2 losses to Marquette and expect to be a number 1 seed. And Oklahoma certainly has got that great win over Maryland as well. Kelvin Sampson, you talk about a guy that does a job every year. Certain guys are so consistent.
Tough shot, won't go.
Wade with a foul over the top.
Yeah.
He's from out of Chicago, sat last year out, already announced that I'm coming back to school. I need another year of school. Look at this leaping ability. Oh, up and away. Up and away. He's a high riser.
Well, the big comeback by Marquette hasn't dampened the spirits of the Bearcat faithful at all here at the shoot. 26-24 Cincinnati. But Dwayne Wade for Marquette, sophomore, sat out last year as a partial qualifier. He could practice, but he couldn't play. He has been dominant the last few minutes, and he's earned some high praise from Dickie V.
Well, there's my newcomers of the year, not clowning pure freshmen. Powell's been terrific for Texas Tech. Marcus Hatton keeping St. John's on a run for a tournament. Jarvis Hayes, George has been sensational. Ebby-Ara has been outstanding for Oklahoma, and certainly Wade. Wade will be my number 1 newcomer. The impact he's made in a winning situation. It's a little different when you play well and your team loses, and play well and your team wins.
They were 15-14 last year. Did not go to the postseason. No NIT even for Marquette. This year they're 23-3, and Wade is the biggest reason why.
And they got a guy sitting out, a terrific player at 6'9", Bobby Jackson.
See that screen as Maxfield laid out Diener, and Logan takes advantage to knock it down. Logan now with a dozen.
What a great screen to get Logan free. And Logan reads screens so well. See, he and certainly Henry are the stabilizers. They're so experienced. Stayed in school 4 years.
Another
what a great defense. Great defense.
That's 3 timeouts Marquette has had to take this half just because of the pressure, being unable to get rid of the ball.
They do a phenomenal job. Now watch him read the screen right here. Freezes. See, right here. He's going to run him right into that screen. Now watch him. Right there. Bam. What a screen. You better communicate on screens like that, or you'll get your teammate hurt. You got to let him know. Screen on the left. Screen on the left.
When you get screened by Cincinnati, you feel it.
They hit on their screens, I'll tell you that.
5-point lead Cincinnati in spite of the best effort so far tonight by Dwayne Wade.
There he is, driving on a steal. We see him with another steal. Anticipates so well. And there he is with the offensive rebound. The great bounce off the floor.
But you talked about it. He's going to need some help tonight from Blankson or Namaka or somebody else if they're going to win this basketball game.
Yeah, somebody on the role players have to step up. Last time Marquette went to the NCAA tournament was 97 under Mike Dean, who's now down there at Lamar. And in 93 and 94, buddy of mine, Kevin O'Neal, took him to the Sweet 16.
Looks like they might be headed in that direction again. They've got some kind of team. But I was wrong. They don't have 2 timeouts left. They've got 1. They've used 4 of their 5 timeouts already. Henry nowhere to go. Forces it up. Here come the Caps. Logan
Just great defense.
McElroy.
I'll tell you, Logan can really pass the rock as well. McElroy can run the floor in transition. Marquette needs a basket here. They're going to stop this momentum. They're doubling up on a basketball, going to make it get out of his hands, and doubling up on a ball.
Diener gets out of it.
You got to look diagonal. You got to get it away from the trap.
What pressure by Cincinnati. And Merritt loses it out of bounds.
Bobby Huggins has to be so thrilled with the defensive effort. Look at his defense. Look at him attack right here. Watch this. Freeze it right there. Look at that double up. Oh, wow. I mean, that's pressure. That is pressure, making him take a bad shot.
Every single time down the floor, pressure and trapping, and Marquette looks really flustered the last 3 or 4 possessions.
My concern with Cincinnati early was whether or not they would be offensively efficient enough. Defensively, I was so impressed.
Great block underneath by Wade. Back out to Logan.
Wade is so quick inside. He's got that great anticipation. I love Dwayne Wade. He is a PTPer, baby. A prime-time performer.
And great to hear, as you said, he's coming back for another year. Field Williams for 3.
He can shoot the trifecta. Came out of high school as a big-time long-range shooter. That's an AT&T special. They got Uncle Mo on their side now, Mr. Schulman.
It was tied a couple of minutes ago, and now it's a 10-0 run for Cincinnati.
Who said this place is quiet? Michelle, this place is rocking, Michelle.
It's loud, Dickie V. And a lot of the noise is coming from Bob Huggins, in spite of the fact that his team is playing terrific defense. Anytime they get a call, he is screaming at the refs, and I can hear it.
Nobody works harder on the bench than Bob Huggins does. Nobody works his kids harder than Bob Huggins does. Judgment Week presented by AT&T Long Distance. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Michelle Tafoya with you here at the Shoemaker Center in Cincinnati, where the Bearcats led 18-4. Marquette came back to tie, and now Cincinnati on a 10-0 run to lead by 10 in the final minute of the first half.
Bobby told me before the game this might be about his 4th or 5th best team. He thought his team in '93 that went to the Elite Eight and lost in overtime to the eventual national champs. North Carolina was terrific. '92 certainly with Van Exel and Blunt and Herb Jones. Corey Blunt was on our team inside. Look at that defense. Incredible the way they're playing the passing lanes.
And they've got it again. They are swarming them.
Suffocating defense. They are playing, that's a great word, Dan. Swarming. I mean, they know it. The crowd knows it. They feel it. Look at the enthusiasm and the love for playing defense. Everybody gets excited about offense. Isn't it great, Dan, to see people get excited about defense?
Yep. This is how Cincinnati's been winning games year after year after year. Tough Team D. Coming up at halftime, it's the Mass Mutual Financial Group halftime report. SportsCenter in-game with Pam Ward. Will there be another miracle on ice? Wouldn't be so much of a miracle this time. USA taking on Russia in hockey with the winner to get Canada in the gold medal game. And some NFL news from Chicagoland. Check in on the Bears as well.
And please tell the Russian people, stop crying and whining and whining. I mean, the skating performance was brilliant. I mean, unbelievable. You're going to go home, forget about it, compete.
Cooler.
You said that.
I didn't say a word.
I don't like to hear whining and crying and moaning.
There's the run for the Bearcats. As you just saw, this conference has been around for 6 years, and the Bearcats have won outright or shared all 6 regular season titles. If they win here tonight, they are well on their way to number 7.
Merritt did a great job stepping out, and they reversed the ball to the screener.
Davis way off. Last couple of seconds of the first half. Boy, wow. Good attempt there from Langston. But that is the end of the first half. Cincinnati did closing on a 10-0 run.
I really think that they got to be very, very happy to only be 10 down, because Cincinnati, other than about a 5-minute spurt, really has dominated the first half, and it could have been a lot worse.
Well, we have a moment. Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
All right, with Bob Huggins. Boy, the defense seems to have been creating a lot of your offense here in this 10-0 run to finish things up. Is this the pace you've got to play defensively to put this thing away in the second half?
We've got to play defensively like that all the time. We win games because of defense. We have a hard time scoring the ball, so we've got to play really hard defensively.
How can you find more opportunities to score? I mean, you've been doing it clearly in this game.
Now we've thrown the ball away too much. We got to get a shot every time down. We didn't do that.
All right, thank you. Obviously never satisfied. Back to you guys.
The mark of a terrific coach. Never satisfied. Coming up, Mass Mutual Financial Group halftime report. Here is Pam Ward. Pam. Offensive display by the Cincinnati Bearcats for almost the entire first half. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, you talked about it. Other than about 4 minutes in the middle of the half, they were overwhelming defensively.
Well, you know, Dan, for Marquette to win this basketball game, Blankson and Nakama are going to have to step up. They were 0 for 6. They didn't score. They didn't give them any kind of productivity. And then you looked at Henry. He struggled at 2 for 9. And the bottom line for Cincinnati, Logan was Logan, the super. And the bottom line, I thought, was Mr. Little. He dominated with the 4 block shots and a 6 points inside.
As you can see, Marquette didn't get to the line. They were forced to take a lot of tough shots as the shot clock was winding down. And Steve Logan, who else? The high scorer in the game of the first half with 12. He is averaging better than 22 points per game this season. With more, here's the third member of our broadcast team, Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dan, I spoke with Tom Crean at halftime. He said his biggest concern is that his team isn't rebounding well. But as far as responding to Cincinnati's swarming defense, he said to his players, look, you got to relax and remember those 5-on-7 drills we executed in practice. You should be ready for this. He also told his own players to get back on defense, but more than anything, Tom Crean could not get over the rebounding margin. Dan?
23-14, the rebounding margin for Cincinnati in the first half. A game of runs. Cincinnati at the beginning, Marquette to catch up, and then Cincinnati again to end the half.
Well, they played aggressive basketball early, and that is an indication that you're going to rebound when you're attacking the glass the way they did Cincinnati.
Baseline, Stokes finds Little. More unselfish, beautiful team basketball.
Really are playing well as a unit, looking for one another, just caring about the end result, a W.
Little, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks already. Weak side rebound and a putback for Scott Merritt.
You know, the next 4 minutes we talk about how vital they are, and they really, in this game, are essential for Marquette to get a spurt here early to get some confidence.
They know they can play with this team. They beat them twice last year, once here, once in Milwaukee. They've already beaten them in Milwaukee this year. Leonard Stokes penetrates. Another beautiful feed to Little.
I'll tell you, Stokes has made 2 great passes out of the big O. When I'm talking about confidence, what I mean basically is if you're down 10 and they go on a spurt 7-1, man, you're down 16. It's tough with this place exploding and your confidence gets shattered. They beat him 3 games in a row, as you said, Dan.
Boy, Dwayne Wade is tough with that mid-range game, that little floater from 6 or 8 feet away.
He is so smooth. He is silky smooth. What an upside he has. I mean, it's all there. He's all that, man. He is all that.
Wade with 13, but Marquette still down 10. Logan a miss. Rebound, Blankson.
See, that's really got to get some productivity out of Blankson and Nakama.
Henry. Blankson, now back to Henry, back to Blankson. Everything but the finish. Namaka on the glass, and maybe Tom Crean's rebounding speech at halftime is paying off.
Namaka with a great rebound right there. Tom Crean does those 5-on-7 drills, and they're really very productive, especially when you play against a team like this, who swarms defensively. There's Namaka really working on the glass, good inside position.
Aluma Namaka didn't make your all-name team this year? You couldn't squeeze him on?
You should have made it, I tell you.
That's a handful.
Yes, it is a handful. Namaka.
From Sweden, 6'7", 225, a senior.
I like the Jones, the Smiths.
Yeah.
I'm a one-syllable guy. I'm so dumb.
Well, again, here comes Marquette. Have they weathered the early storm here in the second half?
Nice look inside.
Marquette ball.
Logan and Henry go back to their AAU days. As you see a frustrated Bob Huggins as he told Michelle at halftime, we got to get shots with each possession. And they're not doing that. Henry and Logan used to play against each other in the AAU. Henry for Chicago, Logan for Cleveland.
And they're playing hard against each other here tonight.
They know each other, man. They've had some battles on the asphalt. They've had battles all over this place.
Wade can't lose McElroy. Tough shot will go, and Cincinnati's put Emmanuel McElroy. Bob Huggins considers him the best defensive player in Conference USA, and many others would agree, but Wade's still getting his points.
Yeah, he'd make the All-Rambo team defensively, but Wade is so explosive. He had 25 off him in the first matchup.
Yep. And 8 rebounds as well. Logan inside, and a tie-up. The ball's going to go back over to the Golden Eagles.
In fact, he was so concerned about Wade, McElroy took the video of the Louisville game and was studying Wade in that game, trying to analyze his game. He gets in that 3-second area. He really is tough to control.
Yeah, not a whole lot he could have done there. Wade now with 15 and a wide open look from the wing. Bounces out, and a good rebound for Little.
Little has been really productive here. What a positive force he has been.
Logan, good entry feed. Davis. Little thought about the 18-footer, made a wise decision. McElroy, and an offensive foul against Emmanuel McElroy.
McElroy and Stokes both are going to get some help from Oscar on shooting the basketball. He told me that he comes over once in a while, talks to the kids. As you see the contact, there's no doubt about that. Great defense by Marquette. Beats him to the baseline.
Used a little bit of that right arm to discard the defender. Marquette on a 7-0 run, make it 9.
Here comes that spurt again. Marquette in the spurt.
And now Bob Huggins is saying, what about the contact down at the other end, guys in striped shirts?
2 heavyweights going at it. Number 4 in America against number 9.
First time this conference has had a matchup of 2 top 10 teams in 5 years.
Louisville and Cincinnati.
That's right.
Cincinnati lost that game to Louisville. Nice pass. As he wants that contact, he wants the charge. He says, come on now, you got to be consistent. Where's the call? Where's the call? Consistency.
Marquette on a run to get it back within 3.
Marquette changing defenses right now, matching up.
McElroy finds a seam. Thought he had Davis underneath. They're still penetrating, but now the passes aren't finding their mark.
And that is the part that disturbs Bob Huggins about this club. Offensive efficiency, getting a shot with each possession. I thought I was going to see Marty Brennan and all the guys, and I realized they're in Sarasota right now.
That's right. Baseball time, huh?
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Blankson underneath. Little says he was just standing there with his arms up in the air. But if it's him, it will be his 3rd.
Yeah, he's got to get him out, and he's been such an enforcer inside as a shot blocker. Came here prepared mentally to play. I'm going to see right here. He bumps him with the body. See, he doesn't get him with the arms, but he gets him with the body.
So Blankson to the line, and Little is going to check out, it would appear. Max Seal getting ready to check in.
There's a lot of people out there wouldn't want to see Max Seal on the floor. He's got those long arms.
Does he ever?
Shot blocker. This kid has started all over, and this guy played exceptionally well, not a little tonight.
Tom Hathaway was telling me, the SID at Cincinnati, Max Seal is 6'7", Little is 6'11", but they have the same wingspan.
Wow.
As Max Seal's got such long arms. He's put on about 15 pounds this year and has unbelievable athleticism for a guy his size.
Well, the state of Texas has really been good to Cincinnati. Yeah. Kenyon Martin came from there as well as Jason Maxiell. I'll tell you, Henry's really welcomed the challenge. Logan's not getting a lot of good looks. He's making them count when he gets an opportunity.
8-0 run right now for the Golden Eagles to get back within 2. Logan with a deep 3 and the rebound to Blankson.
He's got Merritt some touches inside as well.
Wade finds Merritt, and that ties the game.
They got to look inside, get some post presence. Let them touch the rock a little bit. I'll tell you, they're going to be so proud right now, Marquette, the way they have battled back to tie this game up. Great performance.
Back here in Cincinnati, Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, and Michelle Tafoya with you. Judgment of the Week presented by AT&T. Long Distance continues here tonight. And boy, if we're judging Marquette and their mental toughness and their ability to come back from deficits time after time, they pass with terrific grades here tonight. I mean, they've been down big twice, Dick, and both times they've come back.
Yeah, take a look at those spurts and those runs. And that's why you sit with the record they have, because they have that kind of tenacity. And it comes from their leader on that sideline, Tom Crean. I give him an A+, because most teams would have folded to 10 early in this game when they shot 2 for 17, and Cincinnati played such brilliant defense that this would have been a blowout. But they kept coming back. Kids like Henry and Wade, I mean, they're from the streets of Chicago, man. They ain't backing down from anybody.
23-3. Both teams reflecting the toughness that their coaches have and have done a great job, obviously, instilling in them. Nearly stolen again. Boy, Wade is quick into those passing lanes as we'll step aside for the under 16 timeout here at the Shoe, tied at 38. In a game of this magnitude, to the victors should go the spoils. And what is a better thing to give away to a winning team than something like this? Under the heading of I thought I'd seen everything, the autographed Dick Vitale bobblehead, and it is awesome, baby. Do you see the light? What do you think? What do you think? Look good?
I'm so ugly, man. Anything's better looking than me. But I mean, 62 years old. I'm 12. I'm an old bobblehead.
You've
man.
arrived now.
I was teasing Huggins. I said, Huggins, you don't have your own bobblehead doll. It's incredible.
ESPN.com, right? Yeah. Log on there to ESPN.com and you can get one of those. I can say this because you and I are part of the same club. You got a lot of room to sign your name up on the top of it.
I know. We're going to give it to the winning coach tonight.
Wade penetrates again, kicks it out. Marquette much more poised offensively now, except Wade looked away from Henry as the pass was coming his way.
We're going to take a look right here. See, Wade turns his head. He turns his head. Oh, Coach Crean should have made the catch.
A 10-0 run for the Golden Eagles to get him back into a tie again.
The team that reduces their mistakes is going to have a chance to win this game.
Cincinnati just made another one. Henry to Wade again. Good poise. Spin. Floater. Got it.
How big time was that baseline move right there? They take the lead. Can you believe that? Marquette takes the lead. The Golden Eagles. What an incredible, gutty performance against a team that was really ready to play here tonight.
12-0 run Marquette. Stokes, long jumper, ties the game.
They need that wing jump shot from Stokes or from McElroy. Can't just rely on Mr. Logan. That's the one area that's a liability. Pretty tough to say a team's got a liability when they're 25-2.
Wade again. And the foul going against Marquette. Scott Merritt over the back. Let's go to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, deflections are one of the things Tom Crean emphasizes defensively. Anytime one of his defenders gets a fingertip on the ball, it gets charted as a deflection. So loose balls, steals, block shots, getting a hand on a pass, even charges are counted as deflections. Marquette's goal is 35 a game. They're averaging more than that this season, guys, but in their last game against Cincinnati, they had just 24. But you can see how hard these guys work to reach into the passing lanes and get their fingertips on the ball.
Michelle, great stuff. And Tom Crean told Michelle to me earlier today that he thinks it'll be easy to find out who won this game. He thinks if Cincinnati has more deflections than Marquette, Cincinnati's going to win. He thinks his team has to get more shots than Cincinnati.
Well, that's an indication that you're playing aggressive basketball. When you're deflecting passes, Rick Pitino started that years ago, charting deflections.
Diener back into the game, had some good minutes in the first half. Wade looks like he just wants to take over this game, and that was a little bit out of control.
I'll tell you, not many open shots. Really, every shot is being challenged.
McElroy gets an open look. Cincinnati back on top.
And that's what they need. As I said a minute ago, McElroy and Stokes from the wings. Got to give them some wing presence, making some open jumpers.
Marquette needs Henry to get going offensively.
He got fouled
for three. No foul.
Ooh, they didn't call the foul. He got slammed. He looked at the refs. Come on down. It should have been a four-pointer.
Outstanding long-range shooter. 44% on the season. Marquette back on top.
He's a diaper dandy. He gives him a three-guard look with Henry, Diener, and Wade.
Good move by Davis. Switches hands. Misses the shot.
I'll tell you, the intensity, the emotion here is unbelievable.
Oh, Wade couldn't finish on the half-court alley-oop from Henry.
And that was a great look by Henry. One Windy City kid to another.
Look at Wade at the other end with a block.
What intensity and emotion. Just like an NCAA game. It's Conference USA playing for first place. And remember, Cincinnati, since the inception of the league, has never lost the regular season. There's the diagonal pass. Oh, he's got to knock that down 9 out of 10 times. That's Jam City.
What a hustle to get back on the other end.
Exactly. Great call, Dan. And he's able to come back. He didn't pout and sulk after missing that layup. A lot of guys will pout and sulk and would not get back in defensive transition.
Remember, 6'4" guy leads him in scoring, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Logan, no. Maxfield got fouled. Well, are we going to have some kind of finish? The coaches were saying earlier today, to them, this is Duke, Maryland of Conference USA. That's how good these two teams are.
Well, there's that diagonal pass. There's no doubt in this conference, these are the two marquee teams. Look how high he is.
Wow.
I mean, that is usually going to go down. I mean, this conference has got to be on cloud 9 to have these two teams center stage, national platform, in the spotlight, and playing so hard with such tenacity. Think of Bobby Huggins. Look at these numbers. 25-2 this year, 25-10 last year, 29-4 the year, 99 to the 2000 season, 27-6, 27-6, 26-8, 28-5. They're the only team, as we said earlier, 7 consecutive years winning 25 or more games. What consistency.
They've been to 10 straight NCAA tournaments. In 9 of those 10 years, they've won their opening round. Final 4 in 92, 2 other Elite Eights, and certainly a team tough enough and strong enough to approach that kind of success here this year.
They had a tough break when they lost Kenyon Martin, who was Player of the Year 2 years ago. Now doing a heck of a job with the Nets, which has turned that program around with that trade. Jason Kidd for Stephon Marbury.
Diener uses the screen. Second three in the last minute for Diener.
He can flat out shoot the rock, that little guy.
And Bob Huggins is 20 feet out on the floor, hollering at Donald Little and some of the other Bearcats, as Marquette has not only weathered the storm again, they've taken the lead.
I tell you, they really showed me a lot when they beat Charlotte the other night, Tuesday night. I thought that was going to be a danger game for them. Thinking ahead to Cincinnati. Charlotte had beaten them early this year. There's the screen, and there's the jump shot by Diener. He only needs a flat second to get free.
There is more Conference USA action coming your way after us tonight here on ESPN. Judgment of Week presented by AT&T Long Distance sends us to St. Louis. Reese Gaines in Louisville. Gaines averaging 20 points per game this year, taking on the Billikens. That's after us tonight here on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com and pick up a Dickie Vitale bobblehead while you're there.
Well, I'm going to make you my salesman. Hey, let me tell you this. I read a great article today by Brian Hanley. I follow these journalists, man. They said it'd make it easy for me. He wrote an article about the Marquette program and John Dodds, who's their stat guy since '78. And he said, when you look at Tom Crean, he's a blend of Mike Dean's X and O ability and a blend of Kevin O'Neal's passion. And if you got that kind of combination, you got all kinds of success ahead of you. I want to be his agent.
And you know what? Going back to his Michigan State days, he's got that Izzo toughness. But you talked about it in the first half. He's a people person, just like Tom Izzo is.
Well, he's great family as well. His brother-in-law is Jim Harbaugh. I don't know much about hockey, but I like that the USA's got 3 and they only got 2.
Who do you like Sunday? Little wager, you and me, huh?
Oh, wow, yeah, you right there. That's right. You and John
Me and Saunders up against you?
Yeah.
3-point lead, Marquette over Cincinnati. What a game it's been here tonight at the Shoe. Reaching around to commit the foul is Terry Sanders. The story of this game, in addition to the significance of this game, both teams 12-1 in the conference, has been Marquette's ability not once but twice to come back from a double-digit deficit, first to tie and then in this case to take the lead.
And not only a double-digit deficit there, it was the way the deficit was achieved with that aggressive, tough, suffocating defense that you could have really folded against.
Davis no, Stokes crashes the glass and a foul underneath. That's Bearcat basketball. McElroy in there, and he'll go to the line.
Another big story tonight are the points off turnovers. Marquette's got 19, Cincinnati only 5. You better not turn the ball over against Cincinnati. You'll be in big-time trouble as you take a look right here.
And Marquette has been very good all season, even better lately at forcing turnovers and converting. Cincinnati doesn't do that much of that. They just play maybe the best tough half-court defense in the country, forcing you to take a lot of bad shots.
They lost Kenny Satterfield. Sometimes, you know, you lose a player, everybody steps up a notch. I'll tell you, early this year, there's no one could have told me they thought this club would be sitting at 25-2. And that's a tribute to the ability for Bob Huggins to get maximum out of his people, to get them really to respond to the system that he teaches here.
Bearcats back within one. Again, there's a great show by Maxiell, forcing Henry way out high.
And Maxiell's quick enough to help and recover and get back to his own man.
3 guards set for the Golden Eagles with Diener still in the game.
Look at that help right there. Step out. Got to step the screener back. Look at that defense. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. They created that.
5 seconds.
What a brilliant defensive job. Also credit to people here at the shoe. Oh, I know all those Reds guys would be loving this if they were here. Marty Brenneman and that whole gang. I love talking baseball with them. That's why I like being with you. Look at this defense. Look at this defense. There's nowhere you can go. I mean, they got him pinned in the worst place you want to be. He tried, but a 5-second count.
And remember, because of those types of situations, Marquette used 4 of their 5 timeouts in the first half, and I'm sure Henry knew that. That's why he didn't call one down. They've only got 1 left. Cincinnati's only got 2 left. That's the kind of game it's been.
Well, coaches were forced to take timeouts because of the runs that were taking place.
Stokes. It'll go. And a foul as well.
That's a big play by Stokes. He's made some great passes tonight as well that have created opportunities for his teammates. Here's Stokes with a little shake and bake. Slides in the lane. Pulls up. The little soft jump shot. Cincinnati, remember, at stake for them. They want to get a #1 seed. They want to join the likes of Kansas and Maryland and Duke. And it's mandatory that they win on their home floor here. And also, they're going to have to win probably Conference USA since it's also at home.
And there's much of the significance of this game tonight. Judgment Week presented by AT&T Long Distance, Cincinnati, Marquette. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, and Michelle Tafoya with you. The Golden Eagles on their longest win streak in 26 years. That goes back to before when they won the national championship in 1977, ranked as high as they've been since '79. Tom Crean, in just a couple of years, has this program not only back on the map. I mean, they're becoming a national power in a hurry right now, and this is a statement game for them. Can they hang with the Bearcats on Cincinnati's floor? So far, so good as we go to Michelle.
Earlier this month, Cincinnati traveled to Wake Forest and beat the Demon Deacons 103-94. And afterwards, Wake assistant coach Dino Gaudio said, we played Duke, we played Maryland, we played Kansas. The Bearcats are right there with them. So you're right, Dickie V. This is a team that aspires to be that level, and they're getting there.
Wade has the ball knocked away by Stokes. Henry for a wide-open 3. And Maryland with an offensive rebound.
Shoot it again! Shoot it again!
Missed a long 2. McElroy up on the glass. Stokes and Wade grappling away from the play. Maxiell hangs no. Follow no.
The energy on that floor. Henry shooting 2 jumpers. They've been going in. He's been averaging 22 the last 3 games. But right there, comes up empty. That's the first time he's had wide open looks. Look at Huggins. He's calm and cool. He's the 3C man. Calm, cool, and collective here. It's not that way on that floor. There's a lot of contact, toughness.
The cream of the crop in Conference USA, with Marquette having beaten Cincinnati 3 times in a row. This is a league hoping to get other teams into the NCAA tournament. Maybe Charlotte, maybe Memphis, but right now, there's no question these 2 are the tops.
Well, Memphis is in. That win over South Florida, having Kelly Wise, they've been playing without him in that 3-game losing streak, and I'm sure the committee will weigh that.
Little turns it over. Here comes Henry. Surrounded by Bearcats, he pulls it out.
And Charlotte's got a great opportunity, needs to get a few more wins. They got a tremendous player in Joby Thomas to really shoot the rock. Here it is. This kid's a stabilizer, really a leader. He's a winner. Cordell Henry.
What a luxury having a 4-year starter at the point.
Yeah, many teams don't get that.
Merritt, tough move, got it back again. And a block underneath by Little. Namaka, no.
I'll tell you, Little challenge in every shot.
Wow.
Oh, is easy challenge in every shot. That's no place for any weakness there, baby. Look at the intensity. You can see it on the faces. Man, look at this inside. There's Barrett. Look, he hesitated 3 times. He was anticipating Little. Little's a bluff. He's a rejection machine.
Well, you expect against a team like Cincinnati that the opposing team is going to back down physically. That has not been the case here tonight. Marquette has met the challenge.
In the 3 games that they have beaten Cincinnati, 3 consecutive times as Little gets number 4, they have held Cincinnati to 55.7 points. They have held them at 26% shooting threes, and they have, on the free throw line, Cincinnati was 36 for 53 and 63 in those games, 57%.
And they've held Logan in those 3 games, Dick, to 14 points per game on 35% shooting.
They really lock him up. They don't give him a lot of good looks. Henry really challenging him.
Little on the bench with 4. Davis inside, no. Loose ball. McElroy, no. Maxime, no. And finally, the 4th try will go.
You got to really be so proud if you're a coach of the effort of your kids, the way they're attacking the glass. Both these teams pouring their hearts out. Both these teams giving every
Henry on the wing for 3.
He's got to shoot it, Dan. That's his strength. He missed 2 in a row, but he doesn't back away. He's a tough little guy.
8 now for Cordell Henry. Back and forth they go after Cincinnati led by as many as 14. They get 16 points early in the first half. Hard to believe at one point it was 20-4 for the Bearcats. Stokes inside, had to alter the shot, and we've got a foul.
I can't believe the effort defensively. Well, I know my late buddy Al McGuire would really appreciate the effort and the energy and the enthusiasm of these kids today. He was all about that, all about giving your best. What teams he had in the 70s dominated. In fact, George Thompson's here, the leading scorer in the history of Marquette, a great guy who has such a passion for the school. He does the radio analysis. Came out of New York City, was the first big star that Al ever recruited.
A couple of changes now for Marquette. Diener and Merritt are going to go out. Langston and Harris check back in.
It's going to come down to winning time at the end, making free throws, handling special situations in the last 4 minutes when it's winning time.
The greatest Bearcat of them all, maybe the best player of them all, Oscar Robertson, who led Cincinnati to a couple of Final Fours. And then at halftime, Dick Vitale says, come on, Big O, let's see if you still got it. Let's have a little shooting contest. And he backed down.
I want to play one-on-one. He didn't want to embarrass me. He didn't want to humiliate me. Are you kidding me? I got to get those glasses off. What, I bring the camera on me like that?
Well,
that's ugly.
Well, I'll tell you, he won't talk about it. He warmed up. He missed his first 3 or 4 free throws, but he made 6 out of 8 to finish off. And as you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, but it's not really good shooting. Brent Musburger saw me make 17 in a row the other day at the Golden Dome.
Wow.
I was on fire.
Wow.
Baby. Yeah.
The crowd was on him pretty good, but he was hot. It's been hot in here tonight. This has been some kind of game. Cincinnati leading 20-4. Marquette storming back to tie. Cincinnati a 10-0 run to close the first half. Marquette storming back to take the lead here in the second half. And now it's tied at 51. And look at all that's happened just in the second half. 2 proud, tough, physical teams who really want the Conference USA regular season title, and the winner of this game has a stranglehold on that.
And the reason that's special is because it's a test of the long season. And that's why it's always meant so much to Mike Krzyzewski winning those 5 in a row, which now looks like Maryland's going to break that streak. All they got to do is protect their situation and win at home. They're going to Wake Forest at home.
McElroy gets Wade in the air. Cincinnati has won or shared all 6 Conference USA regular season titles. Logan, no.
Not a good shot right there by Steve. Forced that one a little bit. Defensive pressure in his face. Coaches love. I know Bob Knight told me for years the 11 Big Ten titles meant so much to him at Indiana because it's the test of endurance, the test of being able to survive the entire year.
Dick Steve Logan is scoreless in the second half.
And that's Henry. Henry has done a masterful job negating any great look at the goal.
Hasn't been scoring as much as he normally does, Henry, but locking up Logan on the other end.
Both these teams really outstanding defensively. Seeing a brilliant defensive effort by both clubs.
Henry for three.
He likes it at winning time. He's a clutch player. He has been on fire recently. Laurie Nickel wrote an outstanding article about him, about the fact that he and Logan played against each other. Read her column today in Milwaukee's paper. This kid is one tough kid. He's not afraid to take the big shot.
Well, you talk about the defense. Both of these teams in the top 3 in the conference in scoring defense, defensive field goal percentage, rebounding margin, turnover margin, all the tough stats.
Logan's going to need help from somebody offensively.
Stokes offensive.
Yeah, good call by Larry Ware.
Now, you talked about Bob Knight. How about ESPN's first original motion picture starring Brian Dennehy, A Season on the Brink, Sunday, March 10th. Follow Bobby Knight through A Season on the Brink, part of The Block on ESPN. Parental discretion is advised.
That was Sean Feinstein's book. That was a record seller.
All right, let me put you on the spot. Bob Knight, Texas Tech, the job he's done. Ben Howland, Pittsburgh, Tom Crean, Marquette. Coaches of the year, Perry Clark. Who do you like?
What about Bob Huggins? Yeah. What about jobs they've done?
And Kelvin Sampson, does he get a mention up there?
And Perry Clark. I'll tell you right now, my choice today would have to be Robert Montgomery Knight. Nobody in their wildest dreams would have ever thought that Texas Tech would be an NCAA-bound team when he took that program over. He's rejuvenated Lubbock, Texas.
Wade like a receiver who started running before the ball got to him. 54-51, Cincinnati in neutral offensively right now because they can't get this guy in gear.
Take a look at him in the second half. 0 for 3. Can't get any looks. Not his fault. Credit that defensive stopper right in his face. Cordell Henry. I mean, he's not giving him any chance to get a look at the goal.
Logan 9th
double screen.
Score.
Trying to set a screen. He gets right over the top of the screen.
Henry chasing him around. A week ago tonight, Logan had 41 against Southern Mississippi.
Defense was a little different. Look at that defense. Taking that challenge. That good help.
Boy, got by one. Ball fake to second and knocked it down.
He earned it. That was a big-time offensive move by Steve Logan. And he really produced when his club needed a big basket. That's why he's my choice as the player of the year in the conference.
Listed at 6 feet, really more like 5'10", but strong as an ox.
He's got great lower body strength.
Namaka. And inside, the basket will go for Blankson.
There's people all over the floor. Blankson's had some big days rebounding this year. He had 16 against Southern Miss, 13 against Louisville.
Cincinnati has not lost at home this year, and Bob Huggins has not lost to any school 4 times in a row since coming to Cincinnati.
Last time they lost was here February 18th, 2001, right to the Golden Eagles.
Oh, Dwayne Wade with his patented move.
Good call by Jimmy Byrne. A little bit out of control. He knows it. Taps himself on the head, so got to think.
Leonard Stokes got the worst of that.
Look at Tom Crean working that sideline. His wife Joni's in the house here today. His brother-in-law is the quarterback, Jim Harbaugh. Father-in-law coaches football at Western Kentucky.
That's right. Stokes shaking it off.
This looks like it's coming to the last possession, boss. Last possession.
Sure didn't look like that 4 minutes into the game, did it?
Oh, no, it looked like blowout city. I mean, the effort of Cincinnati, they couldn't get a shot, Marquette. Bob Huggins trying to get the crowd really into it.
Sold out here at the shoe. Number 4, Cincinnati. Number 9, Marquette in a dogfight.
Trying to get those screens on Henry, but he fights right over the top like coaches teach.
Stokes for 3. Way off. Loose ball to Diener.
They're making other people shoot the rock other than Logan. The defensive architect, Tom Crean, has his team really understanding what they want to achieve defensively.
Under 4 to play, Marquette with the lead and the ball.
Diener can shoot the open shot. He gives him another three-point shooter out there and another ball handler on the floor now with Henry. Listen to this place. Oh, the Cincinnati people are going to be mighty proud the way these fans have responded tonight.
Henry stripped. Cincinnati ball.
And immediately, Henry's right up in the face of Logan. Look at this, right in his face. Oh!
No call. Logan for three.
He got a good look as the kid went to the duck.
Davis stepped out of bounds with the ball in his hands. Marquette gets it back. A quiet second half for Logan. They will need him down the stretch to overtake the Golden Eagles. First matchup of two top 10 teams in Conference USA in 5 years, and they're playing like this is a national championship game here tonight. The standings show you Marquette, Cincinnati tied for the lead in the American division and also tied for the best mark in Conference USA. The winner tonight is probably going to win the regular season title. So much at stake here.
Well, number one at stake certainly for Cincinnati is a number one seed. Then you look at stake, Conference USA, the regular season. You want to be a champ. Seeding for Marquette, trying to move up into the level of maybe a number 2 seed. Player of the year ramifications. Is it Wade? Is it going to be Mr. Logan again? So right now, Tom Crean and Bobby Huggins coming down the stretch. 12-game winning streak for Marquette. Cincinnati unblemished at home. What more do you want? Michelle.
Well, one thing that encourages Tom Crean about his team this year is that they seem to understand and have learned what this time of year means and what crucial games mean. And he specifically talked about Cordell Henry, who seems to improve with every game, especially defensively, as you've been pointing out, Dick.
I'll tell you one thing, you don't want to put Henry on the foul line late either. He's shooting 95% in his last 4 games.
Jumper from the corner, no. Merritt with a rebound, stolen away by Logan.
Logan did a great job defensively on Henry, not allowing Henry to get a touch in that possession. He's a guy that would have liked to have the rock in his hands, Henry.
Logan with just 2 points here in the second half, so they go elsewhere for offense, and Williams ties the game.
Good substitution by Bobby Huggins. Knows that he needs another shooter, and he brings Williams in, who has the ability to shoot the perimeter shot.
Sophomore sharpshooter from Houston ties it up. Forget about calling out plays in this building right now.
What contact out here. Logan and Henry.
Merritt spins and he's fouled. Boy, a pretty assertive move from Scott Merritt.
Scott Merritt's a guy they want to see him be a little bit more assertive. We're going to watch the steal right here by Logan. Rips the ball off, and then we're going to see right now a little jump shot. What a great screen to get Williams free. Free throw shooting so vital. So many games we've seen disappear because people can't make free throws.
One of the problems for Cincinnati in the game up in Milwaukee, they were only 13 of 23 from the line. They didn't shoot the ball well from anywhere that night. Bob Huggins says, we just missed open shots, and Marquette won that game 74-60. Last year they beat Cincinnati twice, both times by only 3 points.
And they really celebrated after that game. They were dancing with joy at the Bradley Center.
Wade carried off on the shoulders of fans. Merritt knocks them both down.
That's big time. Step to the line, convert. Merritt comes up big. Here's the challenge out here. Henry and Logan, Cleveland and Chicago. Logan from Cleveland. St. Edwards won a state championship in high school. Henry from out of Chicago.
McElroy has it blocked by Wade.
What a defensive stop right there by the jumping job.
He has made some incredible plays tonight. He's got 19 points, and the blocks and the steals have been huge as well.
And now they're going to a 3-guard concept where they're trying to spread the floor, get a little one-on-one, use the clock. See, it's going to go Wade and Henry and Diener on the perimeter, and then try to set some screens. They're looking for a little isolation out of Henry.
Now can Diener create? He might have to.
Oh, what a great move.
Wow, he got Williams in the air, and it's a 4-point lead, Marquette.
What a super move. Great head fake. Diener really producing off the bench. Oh, has he been a positive force? Look at the intensity of Huggins. Look at the block by Wade. Is that a defensive stop? That's big time. He says, I want to be player of the year. And then Diener, look at the fake. What a great fake. Williams left something on the floor, baby, and it wasn't mine.
You know, Diener comes in with some of these big teammates of his, and he looks like maybe he's not one of the players on the team. He's small. He's he's got a baby face. He's skinny, but he's tough.
You got that right. I don't think anybody that's on that floor isn't tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot survive on what we witnessed here tonight. This has been as tough physically as any game that I've seen this year in the way both teams have attacked each other defensively.
I like what Tom Crean said. He said, when I recruit somebody, I insist they come watch one of our practices before they say yes, because I want them to know what they're getting themselves into, because it's not for everybody to play for a Bob Huggins or to play for a Tom Crean. Don't forget, more Conference USA next. Bob Carpenter, Larry Conley, Louisville, and St. Louis, and Logan with a long two to make it a two-point game in the final minute of play.
He says, anything you can do, Mr. Wade, I can do better. And that's what you expect out of a star, making the big shot. They need a defensive stop. They're going to try to manage the clock, spread the court, try to eliminate double teams by getting good spacing. See, they're going to spread the court. It's either going to be Wade, Henry, or Diener handling the ball.
Henry just looked over to Coach Crean for a call. Shot clock getting down toward 10. Good screen by Merritt. Open jumper, 4-point game.
Did I tell you he was Mr. Clutch? That kid has got ice in his veins. He's as tough and wants the ball as anybody in America late in the game.
He's had some monster second halves this year. Logan is open, and he brings him back within one.
That's what you expect out of Mr. Logan. Conference USA, regular season at stake. #1 seed, they're chasing Cincinnati.
Cincinnati just used its final timeout. Tom Crean's Marquette Golden Eagles have the ball and a 1-point lead with 22 seconds to go. You just saw both point guards come up with huge clutch shots.
Both seniors, both experienced players, both guys want the ball in their hands. There they are right now. Look at Logan. Henry goes down. He goes down. Logan gets up, settles himself. Good composure, good poise, and delivers.
Let's go to Michelle.
Oh, this is an intense game, but do not look for Steve Logan's expression to change. After Cincinnati beat St. Louis, Billikens head coach Lorenzo Romar said, I wonder how Steve Logan would be over in Afghanistan or somewhere. I bet he'd be pretty poised. He just does not get rattled. And I got to tell you, as you guys can see, and I can see from where I'm sitting, his expression never changes no matter what the situation is.
I know his mom jumped out of her seat at home, Melody, when he knocked that down. He told me, my mom's going to be watching on TV tonight. No timeouts, as you said there.
Marquette's got one. Cincinnati's out. So Marquette, if they can't get the ball in, can use their last timeout.
Yes, Cincinnati knows without a timeout.
And Wade is fouled. Boy, oh boy, and he's hurt. Wade is holding his right elbow. You would imagine, though, he's going to do everything within his power to get out and shoot these free throws.
Well, right now, you expected what has happened. Try to double team, try to quick steal, foul, put him on the line. Now he's got to go here and convert.
He is a 71% free throw shooter on the season. That is the 9th team foul this half for Cincinnati, so it should be 1-1.
Well, it's a 1-on-1 situation, but it does not take away the chance for a 2-possession game. In other words, the bottom line is even if he makes both, it's a 1-possession game. He makes 1 out of 2. They got a chance to win it with a 3. And remember, Logan's the guy who can really shoot the 3.
Field Williams has checked back in for Cincinnati, a great outside shooter.
Yeah, he's another weapon. He gives him that 3-point shooting. The coach is thinking on that sideline. Look what he's shooting into.
Rebound little. Cincinnati is going for the win.
Watch for the offensive rebound. That's usually the most dangerous guy, the guy from the weak side. Look at this, Henry taking the challenge against Logan. They get it out of his hand. They get it out of his hand, out of Logan's hand.
It's going to be Little.
Isn't it apropos? Little started the game off on fire defensively. He set the tone, and he makes the big shot. They got their last timeout. When you think about it, this kid was a warrior inside. He blocked 4 shots early. He scored 6 quick points. He set the tone early in the game. Not an an offensive guy. He's the guy that Tom Green would want to shoot the jump shot. Yet he delivers and makes the big, big shot. But it's not over yet, baby. Look at Bobby Huggins. They're dancing. They're jubilant. But this baby's not over. Remember, the clock does not start until the ball touches the hands of a player on the floor.
Donald Little, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 blocks tonight. Also remember now, Marquette is out of timeout, so they've only got one shot to get it in against the Cincinnati defense.
He has been the star of stars tonight, Mr. Little, because we didn't anticipate him being this productive. He has been the surprise and a force for them offensively and defensively. He was dynamite early in this game. But now let's see what they're going to do here. Let's see how Cincinnati defends it. Get right up on the ball. Something, remember, 92, when Kentucky and Duke played, they didn't bother the ball.
You're right.
Well, they're not going to bother it either. They're going to let him throw the ball in bounds.
No, there's some confusion for Cincinnati right now as Stokes a little bit late getting onto the floor. Nobody's on the ball.
They're going 5-on-4. Give him a quick look to the goal.
Henry's got it.
Oh, I'm kind of surprised he let him throw the ball in. Got away with it.
What an unbelievable game.
Henry had that last shot. There's two coaches with all the respect in the world. These fans were great tonight, Dan. Both teams gave a masterful performance defensively. There's jubilation. Cincinnati's in first alone now in Conference USA, and they keep their dream alive, chasing a #1 seed. My friend, it's been fun tonight, man, on the show.
But this makes it Cincinnati won, Marquette won this year, and you sure get the feeling they're going to play again in the championship game of this conference tournament.
And it's going to be in Cincinnati. Take a look.
That's right.
Look at Henry. He's under control. I mean, he's right on target. Oh!
Wow.
Donald Little. Who would have ever thought that he would have made that winning shot?
What an incredible basketball game here tonight. Let's go to Michelle Tafoya standing by with Bob Huggins and Steve Logan.
That's right, Coach. You said coming into this game there was so much on the line, so many things at stake. Now that you've got the win, can you talk about the significance of it again and what it means?
Well, it puts us a game ahead right now, but we've got two really big games. We have to go to Louisville and we got Memphis. But if we didn't win this one, I don't think they were going to lose.
Your team attacked and attacked. They withstood every comeback that Marquette had to offer. How happy were you with their rebounding in the second half and everything that they did do well?
We play hard. We played really hard all year. Sometimes we have a hard time scoring the ball, but we play really hard. And thank God we got the little guy beside you right there.
All right, the little guy beside us is Steve Logan. Tough scoring in the second half. You did a lot in the first half. How were they so effective against you in the second?
Well, they put a lot of guys on me. I struggled in the second half. I didn't make shots. But my teammates came through and I hit some big shots down the stretch.
Finally, you beat these guys for the first time in 4 tries. Can you talk about what this means to you and your teammates?
Well, it's emotional. I told them this was going to be a big game for us. And everybody came out here and played up to their potential. You got to get the players respect and you got to give Coach Huggins a lot of respect.
Congratulations on the new baby. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Michelle, thank you very much. A heavily hyped game featuring 2 top 10 teams lived up to and beyond the hype as Cincinnati wins 63-62. The AT&T long-distance player of the game, Donald Little. Great effort, block shots, and most importantly, the game-winning jumper with only 3 seconds left.
And he's the guy that they would have liked to see take that shot, but he was so productive early in the game. What a great environment tonight, Dan.
Dick, it's been fun. Cincinnati wins by 1 as we send you back to Pam in the studio.
All right, Dan, not bad at all. Tough act to follow, but Reese Gaines and Lewis.